Hey everybody, it's that time again. It's 7 o'clock Saturday evening, and you are listening to me, your host, Ashley Bottoms, on Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion. We have a lot of great show for you tonight, a lot of things going on, a lot of things to talk about. More show than 2 hours can handle, but damn it, somehow we squeeze it in there because that's what we do. With me today, as always, in the batting cage is Dimitri. Dimitri, how are you?
I'm good.
And in the studio today, my sidekick Conrad, and sitting in today is Courtney. How are you, hon?
Hello. It's like I never left.
Yeah, it does feel that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
and of course, we're sitting in the studio and we're drinking our wonderful Nero water. Go check it out. This stuff is really great. I drink it every week. Probably because I just shove it down my throat. But no, seriously, it's really great stuff. Go check it out at, I think it's drinknero.com. Is that right, Dimitri? We have a great guest coming in today. Our guest joining us on the second hour, people behind an independent film called Shadowglade. We're going to take a quick break, come back with some more Bottoms Up Appetite for Discussion live on the Gag Order Network.
I'm Stephen O'Brien, and I play Dudley.
I am Cheryl Norton, and I play Heather.
I'm Chris Estes, and I play Special Ed.
I'm Sean Allen, I play the Chief.
And we are from the cast of Paragods, listening to Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion.
And my mom says you better listen to this show.
Or no dessert.
We are back, and you are listening to Bottoms Up Appetite for Discussion. I want to reiterate, on our second hour, we will have the folks behind and starring in the independent film Shadowglade. They're going to be with us at the second hour of the show. So if you have any questions for them, that's when you're going to want to call. If you want to call and be a part of our show, as always, there are a couple ways you can do it. The best two ways are, one, you can call us, 857-366-5444, excuse me. Second way is you can text us by calling 857-445-0424, which spells
Gag.
Gag. We got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of news. Like I said, we always manage to fit more than 2 hours into 2 hours. How I do it, I'll never be able to tell you.
It's like you're a time traveler.
It's like I could stretch time, because people go, all this news. How do you manage it in that short of amount of time? And I do it just for you guys. So I guess we'll start off with Red Tape District. There's a lot of things going on. Well, there's something going on politically I want to talk about. Now I gotta say I'm a little upset at our country, and it's not just something that just happened. It's been like this lately. I've been a little. I don't want to. Most people would just say, I'm not upset. I'm just really disappointed. No, I'm kind of pissed, and I'll tell you why. Because people say, "Why, Ashley?"
Why, Ashley?
I'm glad you asked. Well, because there are over 57,000 veterans still waiting for initial VA hospital visits. What the hell is wrong with this country? I read this in the news. I've seen it in the news. The show on an all-time high. So we're going to take a quick break. We have a great guest coming in today. Our guest will be none other than the people behind an independent film called Shadowglade. They're going to be coming with us, joining us on the second hour. It's a great. I've seen the trailer. I've seen a lot of the stuff going on with it. It's kind of like if Grimm and CSI had a child. Really unique, really fun to watch. I think you'll like it, and the people that have brought it to you, and the people who are going to be, in it, are going to be on our show. So if you have any questions, again, you have the live lines. We'll repeat them later on in the show. We're going to take a small break, come back with some more Bottoms Up Appetite for Discussion right here, live on the Gag Order Network. Stick around.
Ashley.
Yeah, we are back, and you're listening to Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion. And I just got confirmation our guests are at the ready, so at the next break we'll be having them on to talk about their project, Shadowglade. Really excited. Well, you're in the studio, Courtney, and if
Yes,
anyone
I
who
am.
has been listening to the show knows you're in the studio. It's kind of hard to miss you when you become a part of the show. So that usually means one thing.
That I'm really here.
Besides that,
It is time.
closed streets. It's going to be traffic is going to be diverted. It's not going to be pleasant. So if you're going to be in the city for anything, whether it be the con or the Pride March or just to, as they say, stick around and just hang out and see the sights, probably better off taking the public transportation. As much as of a pain in the ass it can be, it's probably your best bet. It's probably the lesser of two evils. Just saying. We do have a second hour coming up, and we have some guests coming on the show. So I think we should take a quick break, Dimitri, and get them on the horn.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
fine.
I guess
We
what
can
we'll
that.
do is we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. I'm feeling relaxed now.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm having, like you said, we're having on hero water, and, and life is good. So break, and we'll come back with the guys from Shadowglade.
I was standing on the corner with a cigarette in my hand, and you were speaking so fast that I could not understand. But I laughed at all your jokes.
Hey everyone, this is pro poker player Mark Walsh, and I am all in with Ashley Bottoms on Appetite for Discussion.
Oh, I thought you were playing the drop. Are we on?
Yes, we are.
We are live on the air. I guess we skipped the drop.
No, I played it.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either.
I never heard the drop. How dare you, sir? We are back. I just want to remind everybody, if you want to call the show, if you have a question or comment for our guests, two ways to do it. One, you can call us. The live number here is 857-366-5444. You can also text us if you don't want to hear your voice on the radio or whatnot. I don't know. People have their reasons or phobias or whatnot. But you can also text us, too. You can text us by going and dialing 857-445-0424, which spells
OGAG.
OGAG. Our guests are here. They're Skyping with us right now. The show is called Shadowglade. It is a cross, from what they tell me, it's a cross between True Blood and The Wire. I said Grim and CSI. Either way, it's kind of a paranormal cop drama. Our guests are executive producer Anthony. I hope I'm saying your name right. Galizia? Galizia. Okay. Executive producer Salvatore Verini and associate producer Al Burrows. And I assume that you're all in this film as well?
Yes, correct.
So not only are you guys the executive producers and associate producer, but you're also cast as well. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I'm glad you guys could be here.
Glad to be here.
So Shadowglade, how did this come about?
Originally, myself and one other person who unfortunately cannot be here had this idea. It was just kind of like on a whim. He was kind of like, well, he goes, wouldn't it be nice to kind of do a cop show that is not like a cop show that everybody sees on television? Everybody's very used to like the CSIs and and your standard police procedural, which is great. I enjoy them. We all enjoy them. But this person, Danny Clapadoris, who's one of our other writers, was like, why don't we put a little twist on it? Because we see police procedurals all day long. We see paranormal shows all day long. Both have very, very big, broad audiences. So what if we combined both of them together? And we were like, that would be something that nobody has really seen before.
Right, because you're kind of giving them what they are used to, accustomed to, but you're throwing a twist
Exactly.
that they won't expect.
Right. We took two very popular genres, kind of mashed them together, and this is what came out of it.
Now, why these two particular ones? Why not say, I don't know, Barbie and witchcraft? Just throwing it out there.
Well,
Because that'd be a hell of the Barbie Witch Project would be really cool.
Or the
Yeah, I don't
Barbie
know.
zombie
That really
apocalypse.
worked very well. Maybe for the Disney Channel, but no.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we wanted something that was really more grounded in reality than like total, fantasy land.
Right, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to the story and to the plot than it just being a supernatural. I mean, there's a lot of stuff associated with religion and actuality in medieval time and stuff like that. That actually people can look at and refer to back in time. So it's not just a story that's made up. We actually throw in some actuality and kind of blend it into the story.
Interesting, because I'll tell you right now, when you guys told me about it, and I just watched the trailer this week. I watched the trailer. I checked all the stuff you guys sent me. When you told me it was Supernatural Cop, the first thing I thought was Grimm, and I was like, okay, so they're kind of giving us something that's Grimm-like or Grimm-ish, but I watched the trailer, and I'm like, okay, it's really not Grimm. It's definitely in a different direction. So, I mean, do you get that confusion a lot from people when you explain it to them?
Well, we do, and that's a natural confusion, I guess, because Grimm is a great show. Don't get me wrong.
I was going to say, at least you're getting confused with a great show. At least they're not saying it's Barnaby Jones,
Yeah, no. So yeah, we do get that confusion every once in a while, because I guess that's kind of like what people naturally default to.
Okay.
But like I said, ours, with Grimm, you had a lot of the fairy tale characters that were out of the books by Grimm, but it gets you so far, and you're kind of stuck in Fantasyland there. When you have real world circumstances, real world situations, it lends itself a little bit more to reality, kind of like True Blood. I mean, even though sure, you have vampires and, werewolves and demons and everything along that line. If you present it in a real world way, back in your mind, you can, say, well, that could exist. Right. As long as you have that suspension of disbelief, it's viable to where, like, it could happen where you step out your front door and you look around going, is that police officer or a vampire?
Yeah. Want people to get the questions in their mind and to start thinking and contemplating on and thinking a little bit more deeper into what they're seeing.
Because, I mean, it is. Because when you watch, in the mythology of all this stuff is the fact that they walk amongst us.
Exactly.
In fact, it was the devil himself. He pulled the greatest trick of all time when he convinced the world he didn't exist.
You're exactly right. That's right.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I did like that you guys used the Drowning Pool song Bodies as your theme. That was cool. That is so cool.
It was very befitting.
It was a lot of fun putting all that together.
Yeah, because I actually did a video with my mascot using that same song, and I was like, hey, Bodies from Drowning Pool.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a lot of fun putting that thing together. There's a lot of work that goes into all that.
I bet. But I like that. I was like, finally, someone's using like some metal music, because I'm like, I get so sick of suspense music and top, the top R&B stuff.
Right.
I get sick.
It does nothing but enhances exactly that's what we wanted to do. We want to give that perception of it.
It needed to be punchy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Now,
Ashley and I just attended the Rhode Island Terracon this weekend, about the horror film genre, and the thing that kind of surprised me the most is how much the paranormal has gotten into the mix, because there were a lot of vendors that do like tarot card readings, and
paranormal tours,
investigations, and there was this hearse decorated as like a transportation vehicle to take guests around to like local haunted houses and creepy places and things like that. And so how much of the horror genre is involved in the project that you're working on?
How much is horror? How much is paranormal?
Yeah.
How much is cop drama?
Right.
Is it an even blend or?
Well, there is a nice blend. There's not necessarily one more than the other. It just, each storyline kind of lends itself to, one might have more horror, one might be more police procedural, the other, might be more on the supernatural side. So it does kind of depend on the actual episode that we're doing.
Right, what's going on.
Right. As you guys would say, you actually work on what you call the human condition. Your vampires don't sparkle.
You're exactly
no,
right.
our vampires
They're
definitely
not going
do
to
not
sparkle. Yeah,
No.
and that's one of our main thing was we didn't want to flood too much of what we're putting in there. We didn't want to have too much supernatural, too much police. We wanted an even balance of it, but we wanted it to be. We didn't want to give you a supernatural police drama, and all you see is the supernatural stuff happening. There's police work, and we didn't want to give you a police drama and not any supernatural. So we blended it together. I think the saying that I put together were our police officers aren't just supernatural. I forgot what it is. It's right there on that paperwork that I sent you.
Yeah, because it says, and I'm reading right from the paperwork you sent me, it says the charm of our feature will be to portray our characters as real humans, even the non-human characters.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Are you guys familiar with the TV show Being Human?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we actually hung out with Sam Huntington.
UK one or the American version?
Yeah, we're talking about the. Well, I actually met Sam Huntington. We hung out with him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I interviewed Aidan Turner from the BBC version. Both great guys. Big fan. I'm a big fan of that show. So
It had not even dawned on me who the guy was. I did not realize Sam Huntington was the same guy from Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen
she was
many
actually
years
surprised
ago.
when she found out.
I know I was.
She's like, "Oh my God, you're the guy from Jungle to Jungle." But I mean, are we looking at something like that kind of a character development where there's going to be like buddy cops or something like? Are we talking like character development like Being Human where we're going to really fall in love with these guys? Or are you talking more like CSI where we want the good guys to beat the bad guys?
Oh, no. You will definitely fall in love with them. There is a lot of backstory. And that's another thing. There's not any one particular formula that we're using, like CSI, to where it is very cookie cutter. Right. Ours is more, like I said, if you're familiar with True Blood, where you actually get into the lives of, the vampires and the werewolves and the witches, the demons, and everybody. It's not just like they're presented to you and it's like, here you are, and form your own opinions. Right. You will actually like some of the bad guys.
Right.
And quite frankly, even though we're, police officers, we're more anti-heroes than anything. We don't exactly have a very, good past. It is rather sordid.
And the past comes out, later on, and you learn as you go through it, about each character's past. And like I said, we didn't want each character to be focused on as either a supernatural or a police officer. Right. We want everybody to see their real life, how they go about in their real life, and then when they have to deal with it as a supernatural, how they deal with it, and then blend right back in their real life.
And we also wanted to add a little bit of a change from everything else that you see on television or in the movies.
Yeah, everything was automatic. You see, oh, look, let's put this in the computer. Oh, there's the answer. We found our suspect. We didn't want that. We didn't want, people are going to die. It's going to be, heartbreaking. People are going to die.
Yeah.
People are going to go to jail. Some crimes are never going to get solved. I mean, it's not going to be like TV where there's always a happy ending.
Right, it's not Adam 12.
No, it's actually grounded in real-life police work. And, we have consultants who are police officers. And so our investigations are not like CSI, where you're always going to have an answer at the end of your 43 minutes.
Because that's one of the draws I think I had with like shows like Being Human or even Grimm. It wasn't the fact like when the vampires were killing their own or something. Let's say on Being Human, you didn't sit there and say I hate them because they're vampires. I hate them because they're jerks. You start actually the audience starts giving the character the human element. The character, it's not so much the character presenting it. The humans start doing it too. The humans start saying, I hate this guy because he screwed this guy over. And you're not even sitting there going, I hate him because he's a demon, or I hate him because he's a vampire, or I hate him because he's killing people as a werewolf. You hate him because he's a jerk. And it's like, and all of a sudden you're okay that he's a vampire, but you just don't like him because he's a jerk.
Right.
Why can't he just be a nice vampire, And that's always got me when I was watching shows like that. But that's the show actually giving the characters their character. I mean, it's their human side. You start acting like they're your buddies, and you go, why do you have to be such a jerk with them? Why can't y'all just be friends?
Right. They need to have depth. They need to have, three-dimensionalism to them. You can't just be a two-dimensional character, or it becomes very boring.
Exactly.
And like on Grimm, a villain that I was surprised to see was the chief of police.
Yes.
The chief of police. He's very, very, suave and, very, very powerful, but you see what he does behind the scenes and you just want to hate him. And so if he makes you hate his guts, he's doing his job.
He's the guy you love to hate.
The guy you love to
He's
hate.
like JR with supernatural powers. Now the characters. I mean, can you tell us a bit more about the characters? Like, I guess I would say is how many people, how many lives in this police force are gonna deal with that have supernatural powers? Because I'm sure not everybody is. Only gonna be a select, maybe one or a few characters. And like, are they vampires? Are they other creatures, or is it anything like that you can tell us?
There's a detective team of Ethan and Alex, Ethan being the vampire, Alex being a werewolf. We do get teamed up with another detective from another agency who we later find out is a witch. Yeah, so we also have some demons in there, but one of the interesting dynamic between those three is they're kind of forced to work with each other,
Right.
But they don't like each other.
They really don't like each other.
There's a very bad past.
They really
there.
don't.
So in the supernatural world, they can't stand each other, or they
Correct.
don't like being near each other.
Right.
While in the real human world, they're almost forced to get along to accomplish what they need to accomplish.
Also in the supernatural world, because there's a reason for them having to work together as supernaturals, not only as cops but as supernaturals. There's a whole outlying thing at the end of
Right.
why they're working together.
And we actually added a lot of history, actually real history.
So they actually need each other.
Absolutely.
So that's pivotal to the plot of the whole show. Is that in order to succeed, they have to work together.
Right.
They have to.
Even though they don't probably like each other.
They really don't like, and you know it. You'll see. There'll be some incidents. There's some incidents in there where you see, they really don't like each other.
Right.
And if it wasn't for their mission that they're on,
They would probably tear each other to pieces.
Exactly.
That's really kind of cool. That's a good element to it. Because you're probably like at home going, why don't you guys just get along? You're helping each other. It's got to be why can't you just guys like each other? At the same time, like you said, there's a mythology behind why they hate each other.
Right.
Or why they don't want to work. Because I'm sure, like you said, they're forced, so they're kind of reluctant to do it. But, yeah, that's actually really cool. I can see how that would work.
The development on these characters is a little different. You're actually going to come in parts where you're going to hate these characters,
Oh, okay.
and they're going to tug at your heartstrings at the exact same time.
right.
Because just like in reality, you might have a friend this guy's a great person, but at times you can't stand being around.
Yeah. So they might do something that kind of ticks you off, and then at the same time you're like, I can forgive him.
That's how it turns out.
The audience, we want the audience to look at it. We want the audience to look at all our supernaturals as humans. Also, like, okay, well, gosh, this guy's a jerk, but at the same time, we need him to do what he needs to do.
Right. Now, is it safe to say that this show is, I guess, more modern, like, say, like The Walking Dead, as opposed to old school, where no character is safe? You can no character is safe from being axed, or because in The Walking Dead they can kill anybody. They usually do.
Right.
In fact, they expect someone to die by the end of the season. They expect someone to die. That's just the way it is. Whether it happens near the end or at the end, somebody usually in the main cast gets axed. I don't think they did it this time. I'm not sure, but
no, I mean, I would say that the leads are pretty safe for now.
right.
We
But
won't say they can't
For
get
now.
but it's a never say never. It can happen.
Never say never.
So you guys are already in the mindset where, yeah, we love you guys, but if it helps the story, or if you guys are being
We might be
jerks,
immortal, but we're not into
there's always that trick trap door that can be open, that can be sprung open.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Now, when do you plan? I don't know. It's not out yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Now, when is this going to be thrust upon us so we can all watch it?
We're hoping either near the end of the year, beginning of 2015.
Oh, okay. So it's a few months away anyway. It's a good 6 months away.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, where can we see this?
Well, that is kind of under negotiation right now.
Okay, because I know you had said something. I know you had stated something, and if you could talk about it, please do it. If not, just say, shut up. You had talked about it possibly being turned into a series, because I think right now it's a film or a pilot film.
Correct. Right now, it is a what they would call a backdoor pilot. It is actually a film that, think of it kind of like the way Battlestar Galactica when they relaunched it, where they came out with a miniseries.
Right.
And everybody loved it so much and cried that they wanted it back, and then they came back into it with a series. It's kind of set up like that.
That could be tricky because even though Battlestar Galactica did it well, I remember back in the day, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm going to tell you that I remember being a teenager in the 80s and remembering that miniseries V coming out and everyone loving it, and then the series came out and it was garbage. Because I own them all.
Right.
And you just see the progression of how they slashed that budget, where it just got progressively worse and worse, where it was almost a mercy killing to end that show. I think it only went 18 or 19 episodes. They had to kill it. It was bad. I mean, nobody was watching it.
I know. Poor Freddy Krueger. Well,
I know that was one of Robert Englund's first major roles was V.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
would like
just.
we want it to go. We would love for it to go back to the original concept that we had for a TV series.
Yeah.
We shifted over to the feature, to whether it goes on for a movie of the week on one of the cable channels or out in film.
Right.
Whether that happens, that'll be contingent to what's going on right now through negotiations.
Yeah.
So we would love for it to go back because we're pretty ready to go with several episodes and everything else is already pretty much wrapped up. I mean, as far as having materials for the full year, we're good to go at least for the year.
Yeah, because our distributor is actually a film distributor.
Oh, great.
Right, and so that is more their speed, is what they're geared to.
They're geared to, right.
Okay.
However, once we presented it, we were like, think of it as using it either as your film, which is great, but think of the spin-off of it, and so that is what kind of got them thinking that, yes, it'd be great to release it as a film, which, let's say, worst case scenario, it remains a film. But it's best served due to the complexity of the storyline to be a series where we can continually tell a story every week, to the viewers, and just make it more and more complex.
And there is so much to the stories with the fingers that go. I mean, the story arcs and everything. I mean, each episode can go in so many different ways that this TV series can literally go on for a very long time. Very long.
Right.
No, but the film itself can be a standalone if it needed to be.
Absolutely.
It can be a standalone.
But you leave the door open I assume at the end. Most anyone that makes a movie that can be a potential series or even a standalone film always leaves the door open.
Oh, you're gonna love the end.
Yeah, exactly.
The ending promises to be.
Oh, you're gonna love.
You'll be like, please play more.
Wait a minute.
Wow, please play more, not play more. Damn it, please play more. I like that.
The difference between ours and series like you said, V, ours was initially written as a television series.
Right.
Well, V was written as a movie, and it got so much. It got accredited. I mean, they loved it so much they turned it into a series. Ours was written as a series that we decided to go with the backdoor pilot first.
Right.
Right. So, like I said, our distributor initially wanted it to just be the film, but once we sat down and everybody got on the same page, they're like, we could really do a series with this. And that's what currently we have negotiations with some networks to try to work that out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And wow, 6 months. It seems like such a long way to go, but actually that's perfect because it ties in with when the new seasons for most shows start. Anyway,
6 months from now, that's December. That's your birthday month.
Yeah. Can we drop what station it might play on, or is that still up in the air?
We're really not at liberty to.
I don't. Yeah, that means shut up, Ashley.
We'd love to, but we gotta.
No, I just wanted to know because I guess people are gonna want to know. When it's playing, but I'm sure when he does know, let us know, and I can definitely plug it on the website that when you guys.
A couple different possibilities. That's why we can't really say. Right.
Oh, absolutely.
And I might being your birthday and everything. You might be like the first one I contact.
There you go. Yeah.
Or if people want to keep updating, we have a Facebook page. They can check us on Facebook or the Twitter account for Shadowglade.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we'll plug those. Definitely plug those. I want to know how you guys all got together because obviously the three of you love what you're doing and you're doing it well. So you guys must know each other. For most people I talk to that say, well, we have a pilot or we're working on a film. They always say, oh, I've known them since I was a kid, or we grew up together. There's always some backstory to the people
Right.
behind the film.
Well, no, we've all known each other for a very, very long time. We've
There
been
you
friends
go.
for 10 years plus.
See?
And so we all, share the same, goals and
It's pretty scary that we actually
Yeah.
all think alike.
Yeah.
We really do.
It's like you guys are married.
We work.
not all of us.
Some of us are married, some of us aren't. But we all work really well off of each other.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how well we work well off of each other. And we
That's
didn't
always a
know
plus.
that until we dove into some of these projects that we were doing, and then we were like, "Wow, you're on the same level that I am, and the same wavelength I'm on." I mean, it's amazing how well we all work together.
Well, that's actually great. And I want to know, Shadowglade, where'd the title come from?
That was courtesy of Danny Clapadoris, one of the creators. It's a fantastic name, isn't it? It just kind of sticks out. I guess it had to do with the setting of the show because it is set in rural Florida.
Right.
It's not a big city. It is more a suburb of a larger city. So it's kind of in the shadows, but kind of in the Everglades. Shadows is a big city, but in the
I was
Everglades.
actually going to say the word Everglades, but I thought it wouldn't make any sense.
So that Glade is just a short for Glades. I get it.
Okay.
There's a lot of the Florida. I mean, there's a lot of references to Florida in the film itself, like the legend, the Devil's Mill Hopper legend that they have up in the park up there. That we, I mean, there's stuff in there that we incorporate with Florida, with Shadowglade meaning, and obviously from the name you get out of it, somewhere near the Everglades. And Shadowglades gives you that small, little quaint town. It's not too big, not too small, and hidden back out in the sticks.
Perfect place for someone to hide if they wanted to.
For something to happen.
Perfect place for a vampire and werewolf to hide
Exactly.
if they had to.
And the landscape itself is also a major character in the show as well.
That's always a plus.
Exactly, because we do like Tony was saying, we do build off of what is around us, and
Right.
Florida really lent itself to that spooky little creepy backwoods
Yeah, it really does.
kind of.
Well, I think any successful pilot or show or film has to do that because even any film, whether it be The Lost Boys, 30 Days of Night, you name any kind of vampire film that's out there, and they have to play off the background. If they're in the city, they use the city to their advantage. If they're in Alaska, they use the long 30 Days of Night as their advantage. If they're in the country, they use the country as their advantage. I mean, that they adapt to their area and use it against the humans. So that's just good filmmaking. So I applaud you guys for that. Because I don't think we've had one in the Glades. I don't know, have we?
Not that I can recall.
True Blood was kind of set in that rural Louisiana, so it has that kind of a feel.
It had that
to
kind
it.
of setting, but it wasn't actually the Glades.
Oh, okay. We're going to take a small break because that's what we do best. And we're going to come back with you guys. So you guys, please stick around. I just want to give up the numbers one more time if you want to call the show, if you have a question for our guests, and I hope you do because you should be a part of the discussion. You can call us live at 857-366-5444. If you don't want to call and you want to text us, you can do that as well. And that number is 857-445-0424, which spells
OGAG.
We're going to take a short break. You'll listen to me, Ashley Bottoms, talking with the guys behind Shadowglade here on Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion. Stick around.
Hey, this is Tim Ripper Owens. You're listening to Ashley Bottoms, Appetite for Discussion, Heavy Metal, Get Out of My Face, I'm coming at you.
Hey, everybody, we are back, and you're listening to more Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion, guys. We're back with our guests, the men behind and starring in Shadowglade, the executive producer Anthony Galizia. Did I say it right this time?
Nice. Thank you, Ashley.
Yes. Executive producer Salvatore Verini and associate producer Al Burrows. All of them are here live on the show with us via Skype. Thank you again, guys, for being on the show. And we're laughing because we just did a drop for the show, and they totally. Who was the one that kept messing it up?
That was me.
It
was Sal.
It was Sal.
Yeah.
Sal kept.
Leave it to the boss to
Yep,
screw it up.
the boss man screwed it up. When the boss does it wrong, it's okay. But
I got my lines right though.
You did. Everything was perfect except for the last word, which was discussion. It's a common mistake that a lot of our guests do. They think that our show is called Appetite for Destruction because of the ever popular Guns N' Roses release from 1987, which is actually where I got the name from. I thought it was really cool, so I just changed it a little bit. And you guys just kept calling it Destruction, and so the drop kept, we had to do it over and over and over. But it came out great, guys, so I want to thank you. Yeah, no, but I appreciate it, really do. And, of course, Dimitri's going to work his mojo on it, and and we'll have that up on future shows, so it'll be great.
Great.
What I want to know, getting back to our talk. Before we do, I want to let people know that if you want to be a part of the discussion, and I can't understand why nobody wants to be so far, you want to give us a call. Our live number, you can call the show live right now, is 857-366-5444. And you can also text us at 857-445-0424, which spells
Oh, gag.
Oh, gag. I mean, there are a lot of film people out there that do listen to our show, and so, I get feedback all the time. Your show is great. I love it. I have a great time. Call the show. Be a part of the show. Ask them a question. If you have a question, go for it. No question is too little. No intention is too big. What the hell? Ask away. That's what we're here for. But I want to talk about you guys because you guys are in this. So I kind of want you to tell us your characters.
Okay, well, I play Ethan Kane. I play the vampire. Right.
The biter.
Sometimes. Only when it's called for.
I gave up drinking blood a long time ago.
Probably good for health reasons, yeah.
I know,
it can
right?
be. Okay, so your character is the vampire.
Right, my character is the vampire.
And how would you best describe your character?
Very interesting past on him. Being a vampire, obviously, he is not a very good person. So he's trying. He is really, really trying.
Is he a good vampire?
Get it.
A good vampire? That kind of sounds like an oxymoron.
Like I said, he's no Edward, but he's no Dracula either.
Okay.
He's kind of somewhere in between.
Are you a twihard?
Absolutely not.
Thank God.
Absolutely not. No. And, that's another thing. This show is really not Twilight or Vampire Diaries. Not that those are bad.
No, they were bad.
No on some of these shows. I mean, they're great shows, but it's really meant for a little bit older audience.
A more mature audience.
Not so much, exactly. Not your younger tweens and so on and that one.
Probably more like your more mature geek-based, fans, I would say. Probably for the people from the cons.
Right.
That appreciate the culture.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So my character, like I said, he is a vampire, not by choice.
Okay.
He originally, believe it or not, was a priest. So, yeah.
Now, is this a priest before he became a vampire, like?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay, so he's got a backstory behind the cloth.
Story.
And we flash back to some of that stuff.
Interesting.
You will see how everything went wrong.
Hey, imagine if he was a vampire who became a priest. That would be really cool.
I like that. That's actually a really good twist. That is cool.
So what happened was he, was basically doing what he thought was an exorcism. However, the person he was supposed to be exorcising was not exactly possessed. He was a vampire.
So it wasn't by choice.
It was absolutely not by choice.
Okay, sometimes we see that it's by choice. This was not by choice.
No, you probably wouldn't ever really want to become a vampire. It'd probably be a very lonely existence. So what happened was he ends up becoming a vampire. But he's kind of unlike other vampires because he still kind of retains a little bit of his conscience. Probably
humanity's still in there.
Religious background.
Yeah.
So for the hundreds and hundreds of years before he ends up becoming cop, teaming up with the werewolf, there is a lot of conflict internally for him.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And he's always battling
himself.
this. And it's constant and never goes away. He is trying to find his redemption and trying to do everything possible, but there's always a roadblock. There's always something in his way.
So emotionally, it's just eating him up inside.
Absolutely.
tearing him
You
apart.
see some of that. You might not have picked up on it because there's just a trailer or the sizzle, but you've seen some of that in the church where he eventually ends up, bringing himself to the church.
I can tell you just from being a Comic-Con geek myself, that is a great backstory for that character. I like that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. No, it is. It's great because you always see the vampire. I've never heard of a vampire from a priest.
I never have either.
And I've seen a lot of vampire movies, and I've never seen one that was a priest. Still with the humanity and battling because he's a man of the cloth, but now he's a vampire. He's basically what he's opposed to being. He's now become something he is opposed to. That is really cool. That's really cool. That's deep. That is very deep.
I know.
That's gonna give you some great storyboards.
There's
Springboards, definitely. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but I'm just very impressed.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
More,
yeah,
please.
you will definitely enjoy that.
More, please. Please.
So give us some of the other characters if you could, because I want to know what you guys are playing because you guys are all in this.
We'll let Al do his next because he's
Go for it, Al.
demon guy.
Al.
I play a high-level demon named Cyrus,
Interesting.
I'm timeless. I'm actually a timeless demon.
Oh, okay.
Demons.
My goal is just to do whatever it takes to complete the mission. I don't care about vampires. I don't care about werewolves. I don't care about humans. Whatever it takes to complete the devil's mission is whatever it takes. If I have to kill the entire universe, I don't care.
So you're a man on the mission, totally focused. Nothing's going to deviate. You're a Terminator with horns.
So you have no problem annihilating a vampire priest.
Absolutely not.
He is. He's a Terminator with horns.
Exactly.
He's boom. That's it. You
Yes,
Sarah Connor.
A lot of my kind.
Yeah, I killed. We have a few scenes where it shows me dispatching vampires and werewolves to complete my mission. And
Interesting.
He's got to not. You may say, well, why doesn't he kill Ethan and Alex? Then there's reasoning behind.
Well,
it.
I'm assuming it's because they're pivotal to his mission.
Right.
They're more of an aid than I should say an obstacle.
Definitely.
And that is where it helps him complete the devil's mission.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll keep him around for a little while anyway.
And of course, there's definitely a little twist with his mission.
Yeah.
Oh, as there should be. You're a demon. The devils and demons don't always come clean. There's always an alternative motive.
Always.
Always. Now, would you say that your demon is more towards the paranormal activity demon or more like Satan from South Park?
I'm definitely not Satan from South Park.
Just curious.
Hang out with Rob?
Well, South Park seems to have fallen off the map for the last couple of years, too.
Well, probably because they were so busy doing their Broadway show.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to throw it out there to see how you would react to that. So I think it's more paranormal than South Park.
My demon is more of a Darth Vader type guy. He just walks around, nothing bothers him. He has all the powers that everyone else has. I can do everything that anyone else could imagine to do, but I just don't because I don't have to.
And he does body hop.
He does the bunny hop?
No, body hop.
Oh.
Not the bunny hop. That's a different show.
Actually,
But you could incorporate the bunny hop into an episode. That would make like if the demon got possessed, they could make him do the bunny hop.
Every couple of 100 years, I'll change out. I get tired of the body I'm in and change it out.
Yeah, because I'm saying, even Spock lost it a couple of times in Star Trek. I mean, hey, what's preventing the demon from doing the bunny hop? Why not, right? Let's do it. Time travel episode. And what is the other character?
Well, I play Tony Blake. I'm the chief of police of Shadowglade, the Shadowglade Police Department. I'm human. I'm not supernatural. I know nothing of their supernatural powers. Basically, Ethan and Alex, who are like my top detectives in the department,
right?
And even though they get into a lot of, trouble,
Yeah.
I keep them under my wing. They are my go-to guys. I trust them. I trust
Kind of
them to
like how
and
Grimm was in the first season.
I'm sorry.
Kind of like how Grimm was in the first season, because the buddy cop, nobody else really knew about the Grimm, and it was like, those are my go-to guys when I have an important mission. I'm sending you guys on them. But you're unaware of what's going on. You don't know these guys are who they are.
I know these guys get the job done. I don't know how they get it done or anything about their powers, but I know that they're darn good detectives.
Now, are you the kind of cop that's like, I don't want to know, or are you the one that kind of like, I want to know what's going on, and they have to kind of give you things on the fly to cover up?
I'm not so much to cover up, but I do know that if they have to get something done to produce something, that I don't want to say I cover it up or I look the other way, but I do know they'll get the job done.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Any other characters we should know about in this wonderful piece of work you guys are doing?
Oh, Danny is very important. Danny couldn't be with us tonight. He's a very, very important
Hi,
part.
Danny.
Yeah, he plays Alex, who is my partner, who is also a werewolf.
Okay.
Quite a bit of backstory between us and him. He kind of was kicked out of his clan, so he was wandering around aimlessly pretty much through Europe, and he met up with me. We started fighting, and we kind of had, a little quid pro quo moment. You do something for me, I'll do something for you, because the fighting just wasn't really working out.
Right, so not exactly friends in the beginning, but then you just got, this is getting pointless. And
exactly. We were mortal enemies in the beginning, and then we kind of came to terms that we kind of need each other. Right. And we both helped
a gentleman's
each other.
Agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah, they each needed each other to do something.
By two people who are clearly not gentlemen.
Clearly not. And we definitely have left a little path of destruction leading up to Shadowglade, and we just keep going from city to city trying to, blend in, which doesn't always kind of work out, but we do end up, partnering up for the long haul and decide that, this is what we want to do. And so then we, become police officers in the little quaint town of Shadowglade, so we can try to lay low and live out our lives.
Makes sense. Now, I know you guys, except for the chief of police, who's all human, are you guys, and I guess the demon probably isn't, because you said you're more of you want to get the mission done, but are you guys trying to leave any kind of a human life? Or are you guys just hiding who you are and letting out when it needs to be? Or are you, like Grimm, in Grimm, the Grimm himself is trying to lead a human life. I mean, he finds out who he is, and he's just like, well, I want a normal life. Most of them try to live, even being human, they want to live a normal life. That's why it's called being human. Are you guys trying to live somewhat of a normal life, like maybe a family or some kind of, I guess, human existence? Or are you guys just totally into who you really are?
We're definitely trying to live a human life. If anything, because we need to blend. We definitely don't want to draw any attention to ourselves.
Right.
So, we try to assimilate as best we can in society with, regular jobs and, things along that line. But as far as families, no, we definitely do not have families. We are quite the bachelors in there. We're very solitary when it comes to that.
Okay. Because I've always, you always see someone that has a family life or, I mean, being human was good at that.
They were roommates. They were
all
roommates.
But then there was some that had. There was a couple of werewolves that had families. Some ran in packs. Even in the vampires, Bishop, who was actually Aiden's, who created Aiden, was a cop, so he could hide the bodies. He took care of the bodies, and of course they worked in a hospital, and they could get hospital blood so that he wouldn't have to feed off people. I mean, I see being, I guess, supernatural is the best way to describe it, as kind of a hindrance if you're in a human world.
It's like just because they're supposed to be enemies doesn't mean they have to hate each other.
Right.
Doesn't mean they can't try to find a way to be friends.
Right, but I'm saying is by living in a human world, it's better to blend than it is to say, this is who I am, deal with it, because you just end up drawing needless attention to yourself. So that's why I was trying to figure out what you guys did, or how your characters lived, or the lives they created to, I guess, blend in with society so they wouldn't be detected so easily.
Yeah, not family-wise, but as far as, their regular jobs, their police jobs and everything, that was all part of the plan to blend in.
Yeah, they do the best that they can, but there does have to be a little bit of solitude in order to, exactly, to deal with being a vampire or a human.
We'll go into their houses in some of the scenes, and you'll see why. There's certain reasons why they have to be pretty solid.
Yeah, we can't even be roommates. We don't like each other that much.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I was going to say, the demon sounds like he would be the hardest one to be a roommate with. I'm just saying, because he's on a mission and he doesn't care.
And he leaves garbage all over the place.
Yeah, my guy's just...
Yeah, and then when he's on...
In his wake, I'm sure.
My guy, he's kind of there. He doesn't really show who he is because he doesn't have to. But if he has to, he doesn't mind.
Cyrus is the reason for the single name is Cyrus. It says it all. I mean, in the name, and he's a very powerful. I mean, just his presence, you could tell his power. He's a very powerful character.
Definitely somebody that does not walk the streets of Shadowglade. He is definitely a behind-the-scenes character.
Absolutely.
So, which one of you guys has like the comic relief? Which
there's
one
always
has
a comic relief in there.
The good one-liners. I think
that'd be Alex the werewolf.
The werewolf.
He is definitely the.
There's always one. There's got to be at least a little comic in there, a little comic relief.
Got some lines that are just they're so funny.
Yeah, we definitely play off each other a lot because he's always picking on me, I'm picking on him. So it definitely goes back and forth. Yeah.
And just to know, where is this actually filmed?
We actually filmed it up in Central Florida, around Orlando and Sanford area.
Oh, cool. Now, who's the one I spoke to on Facebook?
That's me, Anthony.
Okay, now you had mentioned something, I don't want to give too much away. You said something about a radio personality in the future episode, whatever.
Hint.
Right, what I told you was Danny and Al and I were talking about an episode in which my character has a background too that we haven't really touched on, but there's stuff back there, hidden stuff that I'm dealing with emotionally also.
Okay.
Background, and I listen to talk radio, which is one of the things that
who doesn't?
Danny was going to be always on me about listening to that instead of listening to music, and that's one of my main problems of blah blah blah.
That's one of your vices.
All right, and that was one of the things I talked to him about writing into one of the episodes in the future.
Can I kill Dr. Phil?
Well, I just wanted to let you know. I want you guys know I want to throw my hat into the ring for that role. It was mentioned to me, and I just want to throw my hat in the ring. Officially on my show, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. So, whatever you need, if you need one, here I am.
Definitely.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Because I actually really like this kind of stuff. And so I would really, for lack of a better term, I'd get off on doing the part. It would be really cool. So if that ever comes to fruition, please, guys, drop me a line.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It'd be great. Now, because our time is running a little short, because Dimitri's giving me the high sign over there. Thank you, Dimitri. Plug away. Where can we see all your stuff? Go for it. This is your chance to tell people where to go to view your stuff.
All right, well, right now the best place to keep up with us is on Facebook. If you go to the official Shadowglade website, that will have all the information about Shadowglade. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes photos from when we were shooting the pilot that you can go through, which is really, really, really cool.
Okay.
As far as viewing it, you can also go onto YouTube. You can see we do have a little trailer.
You do. It's just under a minute, just under 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, decent. I've seen it. It's a great trailer. Mm-hmm. If you're a fan of Drowning Pool, you'll love it.
You'll definitely love it if you love Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
So you can watch a little snippet of that there. And as far as the bigger picture, so you should, by the end of 2014, the first quarter of 2015, it should be released.
Will you have an official webpage by then?
Yes, we will have an official webpage other than the Facebook page that we have now.
And Twitter as well, or?
We do have a Twitter.
We'll go to Twitter too, guys. So Twitter, Shadowglade? on
you
Twitter?
can get merchandise if you go to Cafe Press under Shadowglade. Just put Shadowglade into your search, and you can get some Shadowglade merchandise. Still under construction, but there's a lot of stuff there that you can.
Do you have a female tank, size large?
Female tanks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
I need one, guys. Gotta plug it, guys. I do a lot of the cons.
All right.
Gotta plug it for you.
You
I actually had a.
wear it at the cons, yes.
I do, because I actually. It's funny, as I just put up my video I did for TerraCon, and we had a film festival, a fantastic horror film festival was on our show about maybe a couple of months ago, and they sent me a woman's tank, and I wore it to the TerraCon, and they were like, "You're the best."
Well, definitely, we'll get your information. We'll send you one.
Oh yeah, I'll hit you guys up. Don't worry. I'll constantly remind you guys to the point where you'll say, "Why did we do this show?"
No,
But-
we'll get you one really soon.
That would be great. I'll definitely touch base with you guys.
And we need people to go to YouTube and like the trailer. So,
Absolutely.
Go to the Shadowglade
I've
page
done it
and
yet.
like the trailer.
Let's see if I've done it yet. Oh, I haven't even subscribed to you guys, but now I just did, and I just liked it. Subscribed and liked.
All right.
Thank you.
So, it's a film. The film, possibly series, is called Shadowglade. And I want to thank you guys for being on the show. I'm going to go through these names one more time. Executive producer Anthony Galizia. Executive producer, did I get it right again?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Executive producer Salvatore Verini and associate producer Al Burrows. Thank you guys so much for doing the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Axel.
it
Thank
sounds
you.
like a keeper. It sounds like a winner. I wish you guys all the luck with it. Definitely. I want to thank, as always, Dimitri in the batting cage for making this show happen. Courtney, thank you for being here. And Conrad, thank you for being in the studio, too. My name's Ashley Bottoms. Bottoms Up, Appetite for Discussion. Next week, if everything goes well, we should have, I hope I'm saying their name right, Malika Clothing. They should be here next week. I'm still waiting for the confirmation, but they're scheduled to be next week's guest. He has his own clothing line. Should be a lot of fun. So until next Wednesday, see you then. Stick around, and don't forget, where will you be when the discussion begins? Bye.